when I get fired up, I get fired up. I don't know what else to say.
It's
I raise
spicy,
my voice,
honey.
I get annoyed, like, you know, I'm from New York and I get loud and I talk with my hands. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. You're like a nice, relaxed Canadian guy. I don't know what you want me to say.
This is Pretty Big Deal. Shout out to Revlon because I've got this Apricot blush that's going in my eye, but that's like the whole point. It's like the blush goes into the eye, a little bit on the nose. We warm up the face. Thank you, Katie. It's all about a versatile makeup look. So thank you, Revlon. Today I'm talking with Hailey Bieber. I would describe her as Hollywood royalty, but also at the core of Hailey, I really feel like she's just as sweet as pie. From the day that I met her to who she is today, I have to say that it's the same girl. So check out a few of my favorite Pretty Big Deal moments with Hailey Bieber. There she is!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I miss you.
I miss you so much. Now you've been married for 2 years, but can you just describe to me a little bit like your last year, 2 years together?
Everything happened really fast. You know, I think everybody knows that. Everybody was kind of like, hey, did you get married? Like,
but I think that was beautiful. Like, I think because you guys already had such a history.
right. I think that's just something that people, like, even publicly, they don't know. I mean, getting married at 21 is, like, really scary. Although I felt like I had lived a lot of life and I always knew I wanted to be married young, I just was like, I always had this idea in my mind, like, if Justin and I ever end up back together, we're gonna be, like, way later in life, and I'm gonna be, like, he's gonna be, like, 30, and I've, like, figured it out, and if not, like, we're never gonna be together. And then it just came back around in a way where we were kind of just trying to figure life out.
I remember this, cause you and I had lunch and you were like, I'm happy, I'm single, like I'm not talking to Justin. In fact, I'm not talking to anyone.
Oh yeah, I've always been extremely independent. I
Yes.
like, lived alone. I was
It's great. It's so
yeah, I liked my space. But I felt like the time that things came back around for him and I was the time where I really had like let it go and was like, I don't know what's ever gonna happen with this person. I just know that I want him to be in my life forever to some capacity, whether like he's meant to just be my friend forever. I just love him and I just want to support him, and like he's always gonna matter to me.
I think that to say communication is key is like the obvious in any relationship. But beyond like communication is key to keep a relationship together, what else have you guys done or like implemented into your life? We did premarital counseling. We did counseling within like the first 5 years. We do date nights. We've got like, you know, games we play with each other. What are you guys doing to keep communication?
Similar stuff like that. I mean, we did do like counseling and some therapy together before we were married.
Premarital counseling.
Yeah, and I also think the thing about him and I is that we had a lot of hurts between the two of us from stupid that we did to each other when we were upset and jealous and annoyed and like, you know, just things that needed to be healed and fixed before we were gonna get married. And then also things when we were married that kept coming up that were like, you know, things start to just kind of like pour out when you're married because you're like, well, you're here, so might as well just tell you everything and like tell you that that bothered me and like that actually really hurt my feelings. And the thing for me was that I started hanging out with him very early. So I was like 17, 18 years old. So because I came from this like Christian household and this background where I was like the homeschooled girl who was just like doing their thing and kind of like inexperienced and just
because his lifestyle was he was on tour.
So
he's a pop star. And, you know, whether it's like we are in another country tomorrow and then the next day, but there's probably like parties and all this stuff happening around him.
Like it was just like a lot. There was just a lot that I was experiencing all for the first time. So then like when we got back together and now I'm like 21, 22, I'm like, now I have the awareness to know that like actually at 18 years old that was a lot for me, and like I wish that hadn't happened. Or like, you know, it broke my heart when this happened, or like, I thought it was disrespectful when you did, because when I was 18, like, I wouldn't stand up for myself the way I would now as like an adult woman.
Y'all are two good looking people, like very good looking. How do you guys handle jealousy?
I think for me personally, like, I think jealousy is like a normal, natural human being feeling. It's gonna happen no matter what. Like, if I could take the jealousy out of my body, I would, but like, it can't. And you know, neither can anybody. I would say that, like, I know for somebody in his position, there's always gonna be people that don't care that he's married and that will try if they feel like there's an opportunity, or if they don't feel like there's an opportunity, they'll just try anyway. I'm like, it's just up to you not to let anybody think that they can get that far. You know what I mean? And we just have built a lot of trust because we really went like 0 dark 30 in the beginning. Like, we went to the source of so many different things and did so much unpacking that it's like we're now at the place where I mean, it keeps getting better. I feel like, and I would say, I know he would say the same thing. It just keeps getting better because everything got worked out the way it needed to be, and you know, we were able to, there was nothing we weren't able to work out together.
That's good. That's a good man, and that's the way it should be. We also now have rules and like systems in place, like we don't go to bed mad at each other. That's a big rule, right? We also like really try to play fair. Like, we don't, like, we're not name calling. We're not like, well, you did this 2 years ago, kind of.
Yeah, we don't try to poke at the past because I don't think that's fair, and I've never liked it. We have a thing about tone as well, where it's like, nobody wants to respond to somebody like attacking you or yelling at you or raising their voice. So when we come to each other, and it took time to learn what each other needed in an argument or in a conversation. And for him, a lot of it was tone, like, because when I get fired up, I get fired up. I don't know what else to say.
It's spicy, honey.
I get annoyed, like, you know, I'm from New York and I get loud and I talk with my hands. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. You're like a nice, relaxed Canadian guy. I don't know what you want me to say. So I had to really work on that, where I had to just be able to be like, it makes me feel this way, you know, like.
To hear the whole conversation, make sure you listen to Pretty Big Deal wherever you listen to podcasts. And thank you to my friends at Flamingo for keeping me fully hydrated with that light hydrating spray. Hailey, thank you so much for giving us a little peek behind the curtain of your life and just being so open and honest. I love you. I appreciate you. Listeners, you're going to love this episode. Make sure to subscribe. To hear the full conversation, click the link below.